In the aftermath of a thrilling MotoGP weekend, Ducati Corse general manager Gigi Dall'Igna has lifted the lid on a dramatic yet largely hidden detail. Pecco Bagnaia's factory Desmosedici GP crossed the finish line in Japan while suffering a visible smoking issue. Despite the alarming sight, Ducati held their nerve, prioritized the bigger picture, and allowed their defending champion to complete the race. Fans and pundits alike spotted smoke trailing from Bagnaia's bike mid-race, sparking fears of a mechanical failure that could have ended his weekend in disaster. Dall'Igna, however, was quick to downplay the incident when speaking to the media. "It's not that we didn't understand the problem," he clarified, "but not every technical detail must be explained or debated in public. The crucial thing is the outcome, that the bike remained fast and safe until the finish line." It was a statement that perfectly encapsulates Ducati's philosophy under Dall'Igna: results over speculation, execution over excuses. And the result was undeniable. Bagnaia not only reached the finish, but he did so in style, securing a double victory weekend with pole position and the race win, a commanding display of resilience in the face of adversity. The Japanese Grand Prix became a symbolic turning point for Ducati. With Bagnaia returning to winning ways and Marc Marquez officially sealing the MotoGP World Championship, the Bologna factory enjoyed a weekend of rare perfection. After titles in 2022 and 2023 with Bagnaia and Jorge Martin's Pramac triumph in 2024, the crown has now returned to Ducati's factory garage courtesy of Marquez. With the Spaniard and Bagnaia now spearheading the team, the red juggernaut looks even more formidable for the seasons ahead. Dall'Igna himself admitted to being overwhelmed. "I never imagined a day like this. A world title, first and second place in the race, and Pecco delivering a fantastic performance throughout the weekend. This is a perfect day, and I am truly happy." Much of Ducati's current dominance can be traced back to a bold and, at the time, controversial decision signing Marc Marquez. Once their fiercest rival on Honda machinery, the Spaniard has become the very weapon Ducati needed to elevate their status even further. "When I signed Marc, I was convinced it was the right decision for Ducati," Dall'Igna admitted. "But even I could not have imagined such an extraordinary outcome. He dominated the season, came back from a career-threatening injury, and proved his hunger to win was undiminished. Very few athletes in the world could recover as he has. It was a masterstroke of recruitment. Just a few years ago, Marquez was Ducati's biggest nightmare, the man single-handedly denying them glory. Today, he is their spearhead, embodying the Desmosedici spirit." The Ducati boss also paid tribute to Gresini Racing for having the foresight to pair the Marquez brothers in 2024, laying the groundwork for Marc's eventual move to the factory team. They were the ones who took the risk first, and from there the idea grew. We gave him the structure and tools to perform, and he delivered. If Marquez's world title was the headline, then Bagnaia's resurgence was the subplot Ducati fans had been yearning for. The Italian has endured a mixed campaign, often overshadowed by his new teammate, but his performance in Japan was a reminder of his true pedigree. Even with smoke pouring from his bike, Bagnaia kept his focus, managed the situation, and delivered a flawless performance. For Dall'Igna, the key was not to panic. "We knew what was happening with Pecco's bike. We were confident he would reach the finish. If not, of course, we would have stopped him for safety. But in the end, the important thing is not dissecting every detail of the issue. It is ensuring the rider can remain fast and competitive until the checkered flag." It was a classic Bagnaia display, calm under pressure, technically precise, and ruthless in execution. For a rider criticised earlier this year for inconsistency, the double victory in Japan signals a clear revival at just the right moment. MotoGP is witnessing an unprecedented period of Ducati dominance, with Bagnaia rediscovering his form and Marquez proving to be one of the most inspired signings in recent history. The Bologna factory has created a powerhouse that seems untouchable. Dall'Igna's philosophy is central to this success. He refuses to be distracted by noise, whether it's media speculation about mechanical issues or criticism over bold signings. His focus remains on results, and under his leadership, Ducati has delivered almost relentlessly. For the rest of the grid, the challenge is monumental. To beat Ducati now means overcoming not just their engineering supremacy, but the combined force of two of the best riders of this generation. Marquez and Bagnaia, once rivals, now share a garage. The result? A red tide sweeping across MotoGP with no signs of slowing. What remains fascinating is Ducati's reluctance to fully disclose the nature of Bagnaia's technical scare. In the past, factories would openly discuss mechanical problems as a way of showcasing their engineering fixes. Under Dall'Igna, however, secrecy is often strategic. By keeping details behind closed doors, Ducati protect both their riders and their competitive advantage. Rival teams are left guessing while the narrative remains firmly under Ducati's control. Allowing a rider to continue racing with a visible issue might seem reckless, but psychologically it can be empowering. Bagnaia, aware that his team trusted him and the bike to make the distance, responded by extracting maximum performance. In racing, confidence in the machine can sometimes outweigh technical perfection. Ducati's decision sent a clear message to their champion: we believe in you. The pairing of Marquez and Bagnaia also creates an intriguing dynamic within the factory team. On paper, they represent the strongest lineup in MotoGP history. One a seasoned warrior with 8 world titles, the other a methodical modern champion. But in practice, balancing two alpha competitors will not be straightforward. Ducati may find themselves managing internal rivalry just as much as external threats. Dall'Igna's reign has also highlighted how Ducati now operate more like a Formula One organization than a traditional MotoGP outfit. With multiple satellite teams running near factory machinery, data collection and development are on a scale that no rival manufacturer can match. Honda and Yamaha, once the benchmarks, are struggling to replicate such breadth. The Japanese Grand Prix simply underlined the gulf that has opened between Bologna and the rest. For fans, the sight of a smoking Ducati that refused to quit was symbolic. It echoed a broader truth about MotoGP racing. Victory is rarely straightforward, and behind every win lies a blend of risk, resilience, and raw determination. Bagnaia's triumph was not just about speed, but about managing adversity. In that sense, his Japan weekend may prove more valuable than any dominant, trouble-free performance.